Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. A custody struggle starts building. Drew met Alexis in her new office. She quickly asked, "Who did that to your face?" as Jason entered. Alexis summoned both of them, remarking that she did not believe they would come if they knew the other was present. Drew attempted to go, but Alexis stopped him. She assured the boys that if they had ever loved Sam, they would listen to her. Jason and Drew sat with copies of Sam's will. Drew revealed that Sam had wanted him to be Danny's guardian, but Jason pointed out that the will was written before Sam realized Jason was alive. Was it Sam's intention to grant custody of my son to Drew no matter what? Jason inquired. Drew stated that Sam simply wanted the kids to stay together. Jason didn't like it, so Alexis spoke up. "The law is on your side, Jason, but I'd want to ask you to consider something. Even though Sam eventually agreed to include you into Danny's life, I doubt she'd want you to have full custody, especially now that we know she wanted the kids to stay together," Alexis stated. Jason suggested that they ask Danny what he wanted. He is old enough to decide who he wants to live with. Jason stated, "I've already told him he can live with me, and if that's what he wants, I'll make a home for him." Drew stated that Danny was already living with him at the Quartermain estate and enjoyed it, but Jason countered that Drew did not need to inform Jason about his own son. Alexis agreed with Jason that Danny's emotions should be taken into consideration. However, she asked a pointed inquiry. "I'm just going to ask you how you both got bruises on your faces," she said. Both brothers stayed silent, so Alexis correctly thought they were fighting. When Jason and Drew declined to say anything, Alexis became frustrated. "If you two truly love your children and truly loved my daughter, you will cut the crap and start talking," Alexis was saying. Jason admitted to punching Drew. Meanwhile, Drew reassured Alexis that they had not involved the police, but she was more concerned about the children than the law. Drew admitted he lied when he told Scout he walked into a door. Jason enraged Drew by claiming he told Danny the truth because he would never lie to his child. Alexis questioned why Jason punched Drew. "Let me tell you what I told Danny. That is between me and Drew," Jason stated. Drew nodded in agreement. "As for everything else, Danny is my baby. I'll fight for his right to choose what he wants," Jason said before leaving. Once alone with Drew, Alexis insisted that Sam would not want him to exclude Jason from Danny's life. Drew knew Sam wouldn't have wanted Danny, Scout, and Rocco to be separated. Alexis admitted that any Rocco-related choices were up to Dante. Drew then used Jason's fury as a justification not to raise Danny. "These cuts and bruises are an indication of what kind of father he'll be," Drew told me. Alexis then offered another proposal. "What if Scout and Danny lived with me?" she inquired. Drew was not pleased with the proposal. "Scout needs to be with her father, and there's no way I am going to let her live anywhere else except with me," Drew told her. After Jason left, he went straight to Sonny's and informed him about Sam's will. Sonny acknowledged that custody battles could have a negative impact on the children, which Jason wanted to prevent. Jason understood Danny's desire to care for Scout, but he didn't want Drew to raise Danny. "I do not believe a word the man says. Why would I want Drew as Danny's guardian?" Jason asked fiercely. Jason worried how Sonny would react in this situation. "If it were me, I wouldn't allow Drew get near Danny. If this is a fight, I've got your back," Sonny stated. Chase arrived at Sam's penthouse and found the door open. He grabbed his rifle till Dante stepped down the stairs carrying several suitcases. Dante indicated that he was packing things for himself and the kids so they could reside at the Quartermains. Dante claimed if it were up to him, he would never leave because it was the last place his family was united. Dante told Chase about his happy and comfortable life with Sam and how she always won minor arguments. However, the penthouse was Sam's residence, and Dante did not believe he had a right to it. Dante imagined Sam had made a will and bequeathed the penthouse to Danny and Scout. Dante was ready to find a new location for himself and Rocco to live. Chase offered that Dante purchase the penthouse, but Dante did not believe it would feel right. Chase then attempted to make the Q mansion appear desirable. He resided there and said the people around him saved him from feeling lonely. Plus, Dante's mother lived there. Michael and Sasha had some awkward moments in the Quartermaine kitchen while she baked. Michael said he was only there for a snack, but he eventually revealed he couldn't force himself to go. "I can't be in the same room, the same bed, or even under the same roof with her anymore," Michael was saying. Sasha agreed that everything was a mess. Michael told her that Willow and Drew had slept together on the playroom floor and that he wasn't sure how to approach his wife about it. "If I tell Willow I know about her and Drew, then I have to tell her about us," Michael said with regret. Michael agreed to keep Sasha's name out of it provided he admitted to Willow that he cheated. Michael admitted that confiding in Jason was a mistake. Sasha had questioned what triggered Jason and Drew's quarrel, but she now knows. Michael wondered if Willow loved him anymore. Sunny treated Christina to dinner at Pozzolo's. Christina acknowledged she was concerned about Ava's trial the next day. Sunny convinced Christina that she would perform well on the stand, but she disagreed. "We are talking about me, Dad. What if I don't?" Christina maintained that prosecuting Ava was the only way to bring justice for the baby's loss. When Christina was considering what she would do with the rest of her life, Sunny offered her a position with one of his enterprises. Christina said that she was not qualified. Sunny thought Christina was overqualified and would be a wonderful fit for his coffee shop. Christina agreed to think about it. Dex introduced himself to Kai when he saw him in the boxing gym. Dex informed Kai that they shared someone in common, Trina Robinson. Dex revealed that he knew Trina through his girlfriend, Jocelyn. Kai assumed Dex was a fellow PCU student. When Dex revealed that he was a cop, Kai laughed, wondering whether Trina had sent Dex to arrest him. Dex laughed before stating, "Trina can be intense, but she's a sweetheart." Dex and Kai looked to become good friends, and they even sparred in the boxing ring for a while. Dex was happy when Kai offered him tickets to the PCU vs Landview game. They stopped sparring so Kai could go meet Trina for a study session. Jocelyn and Trina were eating at Bobby's when she realized Trina was deep in contemplation. Jocelyn was fascinated when Trina mentioned that she had been thinking about Kai. Trina was apprehensive since she anticipated Kai to meet them, but he never arrived. Jocelyn mentioned that he wasn't even late yet. Trina was still frustrated. "It'd definitely be easier if I did the task myself. Then I wouldn't waste time waiting for him or explaining anything to him," Trina stated. Jocelyn mentioned that Trina may be a bit of a control freak. Trina confessed that Jocelyn was correct, but she preferred it that way. She didn't want to rely on anyone, especially her unreliable art project partner. Trina had grown tired of waiting for Kai and was about to leave when he strolled in and apologized for being late. As they began discussing their topic, Kai surprised Trina by emailing her a list of study books. Trina wondered how he had the time to compose a list. Kai stated that he often suffered from sleeplessness, therefore he did it around 3 a.m. Trina acknowledged that she was also having trouble sleeping. Jocelyn left Kai and Trina alone and sat at the counter. Christina arrived and sat down next to her. Joss extended her sympathies on Sam's passing. Christina thanked her for attending the burial and apologized for how she handled Jocelyn earlier this year. Christina was astonished to learn that Jocelyn would testify at Ava's trial. They were prepared to pursue justice for Morgan. Jordan got TJ some takeout from GH and invited him to take a break and eat with her. They sat in the break room and pondered Sam's death. When Jordan questioned how Molly was doing, TJ acknowledged that he and Alexis had forgotten Molly's birthday. TJ stated that Molly did not become furious, but he was angry at himself. Jordan informed him that it was the day before Sam's burial, and no one was thinking about birthdays. Kristen and Rick were the two most self-centered people I know. Remembered Molly's birthday, and I forgot, TJ explained. Jason prepares for the fight of his life. After weeks of worry, General Hospital's Lucas realizes he is not to blame for his sister's death. He may have been the surgeon who operated on Sam, but his actions did not result in her heart attack. Sam died from an overdose of the cardiac medicine digitalis, but how did she get it? For the time being, Portia is looking into everything head nurse Elizabeth and her staff did during Sam's postoperative care. Elizabeth maintains she didn't give Sam digitalis and kept detailed notes on all meds he was provided. Elizabeth is haunted by the thought that she may have done something to cause Sam's death, but what if foul play was involved and Elizabeth and her nurses made no mistakes? This is the second time something unusual has occurred at GH affecting Lulu's liver. Lulu's ventilator abruptly quit working just before her procedures with Sam. Could these two incidents be linked? Is Cyrus from General Hospital truly looking out for Lulu? When Laura discovered that Lulu's liver was failing, she was surprised to learn that her ex-con half-brother Cyrus had been seeing her daughter for months. The physicians told her that Cyrus would sit at Lulu's side and read Bible verses. He did the same when she was transferred to GH and has returned now that she is at Turning Wood. Cyrus has no idea that Lulu is no longer comatose and is aware of his presence, but he continues to assure her that she will be protected. The question remains, what does protecting mean in Cyrus' distorted mind? Could Cyrus be willing to put Lulu and his sister Laura out of their misery? After all, Laura has been tortured for 4 years, while her daughter remains in a coma with no signs of recovery. Soap Central had already hypothesized that Cyrus may have tampered with Lulu's ventilator. Could he have done it, thinking he was executing a mercy killing? Could Cyrus' warped mind have thought killing Sam was the proper thing to do because she had saved Lulu when Cyrus believed Lulu would never have a chance at a normal life again? We know Cyrus has found God, but he also appears to have an unusual sense of religion and may honestly believe his approach is the true way. Perhaps he swiped a syringe containing digitalis, which Sam had been prescribed. Cyrus's fixation with Lulu makes sense. After all, he was the reason she was in a coma. While Julian was the one who set the bomb at the floating rib, causing Lulu's head injuries and coma, Cyrus directed Julian to do so. He was attempting to murder Jason and did not expect the restaurant to be packed when the bomb went off. The last thing he wanted to do was kill his niece or put her in a coma for the next 4 years. Could Cyrus' remorse have driven him to do crazy things, including attempting to ease Lulu's pain and eventually killing Sam? Something tells us that looking into what went wrong won't lead to Elizabeth. According to General Hospital teasers, fans were completely surprised during the Wednesday, November 20th episode when it was revealed that Sam McCall's ultimate desires for the children's custody were for Drew Quartermaine to become the only guardian. This stunned supporters on so many levels, especially given Drew's recent behavior. Molly Lansing Davis accompanied Alexis Davis as the mother read Sam's will. Both were surprised, but Molly pointed out that Sam may have written this years ago, when Jason Morgan was considered dead. Alexis was also quick to note out that Sam had a rough co-parenting relationship with Jason, so it's unclear if her late daughter intentionally excluded Stone Cold due to his dangerous profession choices. Alexis has also recently been vocal about ensuring that her daughter's ultimate wishes are carried out. This was why Alexis needed to know what Sam intended for Scout Quartermaine and Danny Morgan in terms of guardianship. It's not difficult to imagine a custody fight between the twin Quartermaine brothers, who have had a long-running feud. Their recent argument, in which Jason used Drew as a punching bag, was heated and appeared to foretell further trouble between these two. It's unclear whether Sam intended to keep Drew as Scout and Danny's sole babysitter in recent years or months. She was highly opposed to Danny having a relationship with Jason when he returned, and she was glad that Dante Falconeri was such a wonderful influence in the boy's life. However, even if they had married, which they did not, he would still not have legal custody of her children right now. One thing is certain, Sam wanted her children to stay under the same roof and together if anything happened to her. If she made her will when Jason was assumed dead, leaving the children with Drew, Danny's biological uncle, makes sense. Alexis and Drew have always been close, although she and Jason have not had the best of connections. Sam's mother is also an excellent lawyer, so if a legal custody battle arises, she will be #Team Drew all the way. Alexis is unaware of Drew's previous tiny ball exploits, and she considers him a hero. Plus, operating under the premise of wanting to guarantee Sam's ultimate wish for her children is realized, Alexis will not hesitate to represent Drew in court if and when necessary. According to General Hospital spoilers, there will be many twists and turns as the grown-ups in Scout and Danny's lives find out how to best navigate this scenario. Alexis may go all out to throw Jason under the bus and make Drew look like a perfect father. Still, Drew's secrets, particularly his indiscretions with Nina Reeves and her daughter, Willow Corinthos, are bound to come out at the worst possible time. According to General Hospital previews for Friday, November 22nd, Max Scorpio and Felicia Scorpio will spend some time bonding with Sasha Gilmore Corbin at Bobby's in the hopes of making her feel like a member of the family. Mac will also pass over something from Robert Scorpio, so Sasha may read a heartfelt letter about how he still wants to create a relationship, assuming she chooses she wants one as well. Robert left town with Holly Sutton, but he can assure Sasha that. Alexis informs Drew and Jason of Sam's wishes for her children, and Dante thinks about his and Rocco's future. Today on General Hospital, Michael confides in Portia, Trina offers Kai a chance, and Sonny makes Christina an offer. At Sonny's gym, Dex notices Kai working out and introduces himself, mentioning that they both know Trina. He explains that his girlfriend is Trina's best friend, Joss. Kai believes Dex is a PCU student, while Dex claims he is a cop. Kai hopes Trina did not send Dex to arrest him and briefly discusses his issues with Trina. Dex describes Trina as a darling and one of the sharpest individuals he knows. He questions Kai's absence from PCU's cutting-edge gym. Kai arrived here to spar, which his instructor does not approve of, and invites Dex to join him in the ring. They enter the ring to spar gently and converse about sports while doing so. Kai offers Dex complimentary tickets to forthcoming games for him and Joss, and Dex expresses gratitude. Dex describes himself as a decent guy. Kai believes he can persuade Trina of that. Sonny prepares Christina's dinner at his restaurant. She is concerned about the next trial and afraid that she may make a mistake. He assures her that no matter what, she will survive. Christina doesn't want to survive. She seeks justice. Sonny believes she needs something else to focus on and invites her to come work for him. She claims she can't since she's trying to figure out her life right now. He claims she can figure it out while learning to run one of his firms. He advises she establish a coffee business, and Christina says she'll think about it. Trina and Joss sit at Bobby's and share fries. Trina is waiting for Kai and is unsure whether she should cooperate with him. He should have arrived here by now. Joss claims he is not late yet, but Trina argues that she should do the task alone. Joss claims she's looking for a reason not to work with him. Trina does not want to drag him along if he is not interested in painting, as this is a difficult course. Joss proposes that he try art. She admits that she has a tendency to be overly controlling. Trina says that life is easier when she is in control. Joss understands where she is coming from, and relying on someone new can be difficult. However, she thinks it's okay that some things are beyond their control, so she encourages Trina to give Kai a chance. Trina says she did, and this was his only one, so he's officially late now. Trina decides to leave, but Joss promises he'll only be 10 minutes late. Kai arrives and apologizes to Trina for being late. He did not account for traffic and forgot his laptop, so he had to return to his room to retrieve it. Joss goes to buy takeout for herself and Dex, and Christina appears and chats with her at the counter. She thanks her for attending Sam and Adela's funerals. Joss expresses her deep sorrow for each of her losses. Joss hopes she is taking care of herself. Christina is trying, and she's delighted she ran into her since she owes her an apology. She also needs to express her gratitude for saving her life following the fall. She remembers hearing her voice in the ambulance, which was really comforting. Christina says she'll never forget how she stood up for her, despite their past. Joss apologizes for what she is going through. Their conversation shifts to the trial, and Joss announces she will be testifying to ensure Ava receives what she is owed. They both desire justice, Christina for Adela and Joss for Morgan. Trina and Kai get to work, and Trina makes a list of the tasks required for their project. Kai had previously compiled a list of books for their project and forwarded it to her. She wonders when he had time to accomplish this. He admits to getting little sleep and finished it at 3 a.m. Trina admits she has been having difficulties sleeping lately as well. Trina and Kai leave, and Kai adds that if she needs to talk about the project, she should contact him because he will most likely be awake. Meanwhile, Joss smiles as she watches Trina and Kai depart together. Jordan comes at the hospital with food for her and TJ, and the two proceed to the break room. Jordan inquires as to his well-being, knowing that she had feelings for Sam. He did, and the service was good. She asks about Molly. TJ isn't sure how she's doing because Molly and Alexis left after the service to care for something. TJ says that he and Alexis forgot Molly's birthday was yesterday. He had a gift for her but forgot it at the apartment, and he only realized it was her birthday when he heard Rick wish her a good one. He hates that he forgot Molly's birthday, but Jordan explains that it was the day before Sam's burial, so it is reasonable. She suspects Molly wasn't in the mood to celebrate. He thinks it's not okay, as Rick and Christina, the most self-centered people he knows, recall. He thinks this is normal for him and Molly lately. Jordan thinks he'll make it up to Molly. TJ tells his mother that Drew and Jason both arrived to the service with bruises, something Jordan is unaware of. She suspects they got into a fight. TJ jokes that she probably needs new friends. She reveals she has a new acquaintance, and she plans to introduce TJ to them after she learns more about them. Sasha is in the Quartermain kitchen baking cinnamon rolls when Michael arrives looking for food. She notices he hasn't been to supper recently and offers to cook him something. They make small talk, and he decides he is no longer hungry. She asks what's going on and why he's here. Michael responds, "Because I can't go home." They sat down, and she asks why not. Michael believes the falsehoods between him and Willow are building up, and he tells Sasha that he discovered Willow and Drew had slept together. If he confronts Willow, he must reveal everything he knows about her and Drew. He pledges to keep her name out of it, which Sasha appreciates because she needs the job. Michael says that he told Jason about this, which resulted in the fight between him and Drew. He then had to watch his wife mend her relationship with her lover, and the way she looked at Drew was the same as it had been with him. He wonders if she loves him anymore. Willow told Sasha that she loves Michael, and Sasha believes her. However, Willow's willingness to risk her family suggests a connection with Drew, which Michael recognizes. He thanks her for the conversation but is still unsure what he will do. Nonetheless, he will keep her name out of it. Drew arrives to meet Alexis in her office. She wants to know who did that to his face. Just suddenly, Jason enters. The brothers aren't happy to see each other. Alexis reveals she invited them both, knowing they wouldn't come if they knew the other was going to be present. Drew confirms her understanding and instructs Alexis to explain the situation later. She informs them that this is about Sam and her wishes for Danny and Scout. She hands them copies of Sam's will, which they read, and Jason wonders why Sam never told him about it. Alexis claims she just discovered the will, and Jason realizes the date was before Sam realized he was still alive. Drew claims he and Sam spoke, and she wanted the kids to stay together, so he agreed that if something occurred, he would take custody of Danny. Alexis informs Jason that, while the law is on his side in regards to Danny, Sam wanted the kids to stay together, and he and Sam were only recently coming to an agreement on Danny. Jason claims Danny is old enough to choose where he wants to live. Jason says he informed Danny that he could live with him if that's what he wanted. Drew believes Danny enjoys living in the Quartermain home, but Jason does not want to be told what his kid wants or likes. Alexis doesn't want to get caught up in their turmoil, but she does ask about the bruises on their faces. Their quiet causes her to believe they engaged in a fistfight. She reminds them that if they ever loved Sam and their children, they will stop arguing and start talking. They acknowledge they got in a brawl. Alexis cannot believe they argued so soon after their children lost their mother. She inquires what they told the children about their bruises. Drew claims he told them he walked into a door, but Danny and Rocco did not believe him. Jason told Danny the truth, but he didn't explain why they were fighting. Alexis inquires as to the nature of the conversation, and Drew and Jason agree that it is private. Jason claims Danny is his child, and he will battle for Danny's right to choose what he wants. Jason then storms out. Drew and Alexis debate what happens next. He asks if she's comfortable with Danny living with Jason. Alexis isn't, and she recommends Danny and Scout live with her. Drew appreciates Danny's desire to be present for Scout, but he wants his daughter to live with him. Jason goes to see Sunny regarding the custody situation and Sam's will. He says Danny wants to stay with Scout, but he doesn't believe Danny will stay with Drew. However, he is aware that he has already let Danny down, and he must do what is best for him. Sonny informs Jason that if it were him, he would not allow Drew to approach Danny. Sonny promises if this turns into a fight, he has his back. Chase visits Dante and Sam's house and discovers the door ajar. He enters with a revolver drawn, scaring Dante. Dante says that he left the door open, and it is his fault. He's lugging several luggage and tells that he's temporarily relocating to Quartermaine. Chase wonders if he'll ever return here. Dante claims he has no right to this property because it is Sam's, and the family who had resided here no longer lives. Dante explains that he modified his will to leave Rocco with Sam so that the kids might be together if something happened to him, and that he now needs to find a place for himself and Rocco to live without Scout and Danny. Liz inquired whether Portia was implying that she was guilty for Sam's death. Portia stated that they needed to do an inquiry to determine what happened and offered to resume the talk with a union representative on hand. Despite Molly Lansing Davis' attempts to get her to leave her office, Alexis Davis was eager to find Sam's will. Molly also stated that Rick Lansing was going to summon her as a witness in Ava Jerome's impending trial, which made Alexis angry. Alexis was concerned that it would undo everything Molly and Christina Corinthos Davis had accomplished. When Alexis found Sam's will, she discovered that Drew Quartermaine was listed as the guardian for both Scout Quartermaine and Danny. Alexis felt it was because Sam wanted to keep her children together. However, Alexis did recognize that Sam stated such wishes a few years ago, before Jason Morgan returned following his apparent death. Molly and Alexis debated whether Sam left the will that way on purpose. Although Jason was not going to like it, Alexis was determined to ensure Sam's wishes were fulfilled and that her children were a package deal. Danny placed flowers on Sam's and the newborn girls' graves in the cemetery. After Danny inquired about Jason's thoughts on Paradise, he admitted to injuring Lucas earlier and expressed regret. Danny also questioned Jason about what happened to Drew because he suspected they had argued. Jason refused to reveal the source of their disagreement and received an earful from Danny, who warned him he could face arrest. Danny pointed out that Drew wasn't the only one who suffered injuries. Jason's actions also harmed Danny and Scout, who likely felt Drew's cover-up story was false. Jason promised it wouldn't happen again and assumed Sam would be proud of Danny for calling him out, so he hugged his kid. Dante Falconeri discovered Christina looking through Sam's belongings and confessed his guilt. Since Sam spared Lulu Spencer to assist Dante and Rocco Falconeri, Dante felt responsible for her death. Christina assured Dante that Sam made her own decision and that it was okay to be relieved that Lulu lived. The talk soon went to Ava's trial, and Dante and Christina were prepared to bring her down because they had been called as witnesses. At Turning Woods, Lulu opened her gown to reveal a wound on her side. When Lulu lifted the bandage, she noticed the scar from her liver transplant surgery. Because Lulu could hear Cyrus Renaud chatting to her doctor in the corridor, she remembered bickering with Cyrus after her article was published. In that flashback, which was undoubtedly replicated with Alexa Havens in the part, Cyrus warned Lulu that he was in a position to make her life unpleasant. When Cyrus appeared at Lulu's bedside, she claimed to be comatose again as Cyrus promised to care for her. Cyrus also spoke with Lulu's doctor about her much improved vitals, but he preferred to inform Laura Collins himself and urged her against giving her false hope that Lulu might awaken. Once Lulu was alone again, she got out of bed and fell to the floor. Lulu used the bed to get back up and rubbed her legs before attempting to walk again. According to General Hospital spoilers, Lulu will continue to demonstrate her ferocious drive, therefore we'll offer you more predictions for the upcoming shockers. According to General Hospital spoilers, Christina Corinthos Davis and Molly Lansing Davis' recent lovely and heartfelt moments feel like the calm before the storm. While they were at each other's throats just a few weeks ago, the death of their sister, Sam McCall, has allowed them to put their feud on hold. Not only do they need one another during this difficult time, but they also care about their mother, Alexis Davis, and her sadness. During the Wednesday, November 20th episode, Alexis was in her office with Molly, feverishly searching for Sam's will, when it was revealed that she would be testifying for the defense in the Ava Jerome trial for the Metro Court accident that killed baby Irene or Adela. Fans can easily see that Ava could be acquitted based on what Molly says on the stand. While Christina seeks vengeance and demands that Ava pay, the truth is that her mishap in Ava's Metro Court suite was really an accident. Ava is many things, but she did not want any of this to happen or for Christina and Molly's baby to die. Still, as GH viewers know, Christina is beyond reason at this point. She seeks justice for baby Irene/Adela's death and will not stop until she believes it has been served. With that said, will Christina redirect her vengeful efforts on her sister once Ava is exonerated of charges? Christina will initially suspect Molly of trying to pull a quick one because she is unaware of Molly's testimony. Especially because Molly's father, Rick Lansing, is Ava's lawyer and called her to the stand. Christina may assume that Molly's testimony stunt was just another way for her to exact revenge for wanting to keep the baby after birth and not saying anything. In fact, if Molly ends up partially blaming Christina for the baby's death on the stand, it will be like pouring salt in Christina's already deep wound. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.